As CEO Chris Marszalek of Crypto.com tweets that Uptober begins, we do see the continuation of CRO to the upside. And we also have a very bullish technical structure. But what is all really happening? Well, guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. This video is sponsored by Obsidian Swap, your place to make trades directly on the Cronos chain, but also start earning. So far, the 2025 cycle has been quite atypical. We were talking about a Rectember, but so far September closed at 5.16% in the plus, so definitely not a Rectember. I pointed out in many live streams that sometimes, guys, September is a bit iffy, so a green outcome was also possible. And now we actually have a green September. This is a great sign because in history I've seen so far that every time we see a green September, we also have a following green October. So you can see that, but also 2023 and 2024. And if we have a green October, well, it can be very great. For example, in a bull market, plus 40% in 2021 and also 2017, about plus 50%. So maybe this time around, guys, we might also get a plus 30%. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Overall, it's looking very good for Bitcoin, but also altcoins are starting to look a bit better. For example, Ethereum here, it tested in September this orange line, but now it is bouncing back up again. We're talking about $4,300 of Ethereum. And also Cronos is looking quite good. It found support here on the rainbow chart and is looking to the upside once more. So guys, we're going to talk a bit more about Cronos in this video, so don't forget to hit that like button and also, of course, subscribe for more videos. Anyways, I want to get started here by talking about Bitcoin dominance because so far we've seen quite a good dip for Bitcoin dominance. However, it also started with a small move to the upside once more. That's not necessarily bad for altcoins, ladies and gentlemen, because it doesn't mean that altcoins need to bleed down. However, it might mean that Bitcoin might start to outperform altcoins in general. So maybe we might see Bitcoin run up to a new all-time high and altcoins like Ethereum might lag behind a little bit. I think there's quite a scenario like that possible. So over here, we have Bitcoin, and I do believe, guys, it is slowly moving towards a new all-time high. And if history is any indication, in October, on average, we see about plus 20%. So let's say, guys, we go up about plus 20% in the month of October. That will bring us to about $137,000. So maybe something like this over here. And then we also have the month of November. And that one is really, really spectacular, plus 46%. So maybe we continue this move to the upside, plus 46%. So what will we see there? Plus 46% brings us to just above $200,000. And of course, guys, history is not a perfect indicator. However, it might be possible, right, that we see a parabolic move to about $200,000 near the end of the year. I personally think we will close a bit lower, but hey, this is a scenario that some people are definitely talking about. And if we see this really parabolic move lift off, in that case, sometimes we do see continuation to the upside for Bitcoin dominance until the altcoins take over again, and then we might see the second leg to the downside. And in general, I think this is a very likely setup because we've seen something very similar also occur in 2021 over here. You can see a sharp move to the downside and then some consolidation at the lower levels. And the fun thing is, it's almost the exact amount of percentage down as well. So I do believe we might see a similar move as here in 2021. So I think, guys, this is very bullish for Bitcoin and it's also very bullish for altcoins in general. And then I want to talk a bit more about CRO as well, because CRO is pointing towards a very interesting setup. But let's talk about that after the quick word of today's sponsor. Obsidian Swap is one of the best places to make trades directly on the Cronos chain. But did you know about their quest system as well? So you do pay a small fee for all the swaps you make on the platform, but you can also earn back by exploring their quest. For example, you can do a daily MCS trade here and you can earn about 3 diamonds. And you can do many different quests as well. And you can also see daily 10k trade volume can get you 21 diamonds. And those diamonds can also be spent in multiple ways. Check out Obsidian, guys, in the link in the description down below. Anyways, let's talk some more about this interesting setup for the CRO token called MMBM, the market maker buy model. But as always, credits where credits are due, because it was Arctic that mentioned the MMBM for the first time, guys. So make sure you follow him at Arctic Crow on X, because he also sometimes posts things like here, the liquidation heat map for CRO. So very interesting. But let's talk some more about this MMBM model. And it is highly technical, guys. So I will try to simplify it as much as possible here with this picture. Because what we see is we have some original consolidation, but sometimes also some engineered liquidity. You can find those, for example, on the order blocks. So we continue going down until we hit the high time frame PD array. So the premium discount array. And then we go back to basically the same engineered liquidity level. So we do see that smart money is buying in at the low. So that's basically, guys, the big setup here called MMBM. With this knowledge now in mind, you can make the argument that we see many similarities for CRO with this MMBM model, because we do see also the first original consolidation at about 26 cents. But also to the downside, we might see some engineered liquidity. And after that, we fall down all the way until we hit that high time frame PD array. But this is exactly also where the smart money is buying in. And then we see that reversal. So we might see, guys, that we are starting to maybe go to the upside towards again about 22 cents. And now we might struggle like we've done originally here as well. And then also we might go up and we might go up until we go into that 30-cent level. So guys, a bit of hopium here for the Crow fam. And honestly, if you take a look at history, October is quite good for CRO in general. We've seen, for example, here in October, we've seen October here. There was also the move to the upside that happened about here, starting at the end of October. Then we also, for example, in 2023, saw a good move in October, if I'm not right. So here we can see this move was all done in October. Not all Octobers are great, though. I do believe here this October, well, this last October in 2024, we continued to the downside until we had the election results of Donald J. Trump. So sometimes, guys, October is not the best month, but we also have some great examples of when October started a great bull run. And you can also find that, hard to see here, but in these seasonals, you can see here on this chart that we've been moving up already in August thanks to the Trump Treasury news. But so far, we've been nicely following the 2021 trajectory to the upside regarding the rest of the year. So guys, we might be on track again to move towards that new all-time high in those final months of the year. So I'm actually quite bullish about the outlook for CRO specifically. Based on the historic returns and also the technical setup for CRO, and let's not forget also the tweet by CEO Chris Marszalek about Uptober, I do believe that October can become a very good month for crypto and CRO specifically. So I'm actually quite bullish looking forward. But I will do a complete analysis with our time to buy video for the month of October. So don't forget to, of course, strap in for that video and hit that like button. But if you want to learn more about CRO in the meantime, check out this video as well.